Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our informational webinar for ecoAmerica's second annual American Climate Leadership Awards. We hope that today's webinar will provide you the information you need to apply for the awards or nominate someone else to do so. So welcome. I am Megan Spicer, ecoAmerica's Executive Director, and joining me today is Gibbs Raylan, the American Climate Leadership Awards Program Lead. Hi, Gibbs. We are going to be your guides for this webinar and for the awards overall. So today we'll try to move through this agenda actually very efficiently, starting with some welcome introductions we're doing right now. We'll give you a little bit of information about the overall about the Climate Leadership Awards, and then we'll dive deeper into the criteria, process, and timeline. What we'd like to do is give as much information or much time as possible for the Q&A portion, and that's for you, and you'll be able to ask questions. And then talk about next steps. A little bit about ecoAmerica. For those of you who don't know us, we are a nonprofit, and our sole focus is to inspire a broader diversity of Americans to act on climate. We do this by partnering with national institutions and empowering them to lead and act on climate. We conduct deep research to inform our work and then provide programs and resources to help our partners elevate their visibility, their climate leadership, and action, and engage their tens of millions of members, ultimately to shift public support and political will for ambitious and equitable climate solutions. So we work in three sectors. Our Blessed Tomorrow program engages faith denominations. Our Climate for Health program partners with national health associations and institutions. And our Path to Positive program is for local communities. We also do a lot more to build collaboration and shift the narrative on climate, including through our national summit, our Let's Talk Climate webcast series, our ambassador trainings, and so much more, including the awards we're talking about today. So go to ecoamerica.org to find out more about us and sign up for our newsletters. So now on to the American Climate Leadership Awards. Are you working to engage Americans in climate advocacy and action? Have you made progress, importantly, during this time of compounded crises? Could your work be a model of replication for others to follow? If so, we welcome your application for the 2021 American Climate Leadership Awards. These awards by ecoAmerica recognize, reward, and share best practices on climate change advocacy and action in America. We are proud to offer money, support, and national recognition to climate leaders and organizations building political resolve for climate action at the local, regional, and national levels, particularly those who center diversity, inclusion, and justice in their work. These awards were created to support effective climate action. We don't have a lot of time to affect the outcome of climate change, meaning we don't have a lot of time to waste. So we're looking for your current or very recent effective programs in which you have effectively measured and measurably engaged other people in America to build public support and political will for climate solutions. So we want to share your effective examples with others so they can hit the ground running towards success in their own communities. We're looking for programs that can be easily replicable on a local level, adaptable to any region nationwide. And there's no climate solutions if the solutions proposed are not just and inclusive. So we are looking for effective and innovative programs that have built public support to slow or stop climate change in ways that are just, inclusive, equitable, and that may be helping to dismantle racism and other injustices during our unprecedented time of multiple crises. So why apply? What's in it for you? Well, there's a lot. There are so many of you who are working hard to address climate and multi-solve for our concurrent crises, all during a time when money is tight. So we hope you will be pleased to hear that the American Climate Leadership Awards will award $155,000 to 10 innovative and replicable initiatives. 10 finalists will be selected and awarded at least $10,000 for their work. One runner-up will be, the runner-up and winner will be announced live at the American Climate Leadership Summit, and the runner-up will win $25,000 total, and the winner will receive $50,000 total. So we held the awards this year and it was so exciting. I can't wait to see the applications come in and the excitement of announcing the runner-up and winner live again. The acceptance speeches were amazing. And honestly, they were so fantastic. They really was not a dry eye in the house. So now that I've piqued your interest in the awards, I'm going to turn it over to Gibbs, who's going to go through the criteria, process, and timeline.
Great. Thank you, Megan. I am personally really excited to kick off another award cycle. As Megan mentioned, this is such a great program and a really great group to work with. So I will start off overviewing the awards criteria. This year, we have a great selection committee, and they will score the submissions based on the following 3 criteria. Number 1, impact and a track record of success. The committee will be on the lookout for key success metrics. Please note that this is not for results. This really is for results, and it's not for plans. Number 2, the committee will also be looking for replicability. In other words, how easily can another person or organization follow your example and recreate a similar program for another region or constituency? Please make sure in this section to share your effective tactics. Number 3, diversity, equity, and inclusion. In your submissions, explain how your program has centered justice. We want to make sure rural communities and others are not left out of the climate conversation. The committee will also consider 2 secondary criteria, including 1, innovation. This includes new, novel, or uniquely effective tactics in your programming. And 2, effectiveness, demonstrating the success of how your program built public support and/or political will to slow and/or stop climate change. Now is the opportunity to get climate on the agenda, find people who will do it, and make sure reporters, leaders, and candidates talk about climate as an election issue. So in 2020, this year, the CalPERC students won the American Climate Leadership Awards. Working on 8 University of California campuses, CalPERC students ran and won a campaign for a UC-wide commitments to 100% renewable electricity. With 238,000 students across 10 campuses, the University of California's new plan to run completely on electricity from renewable energy by 2025 is the farthest reaching, with more higher ed campuses involved than any prior commitments to in the nation. This is a high visibility, replicable example that colleges and universities across the country can follow. This campaign was diverse and inclusive from the start. And we were so excited to honor our 2020 winners and look forward to celebrating one of you next year. Now, a bit more on this year's selection committee. The selection committee for ACLA 21 is comprised of 9 climate experts and leaders from across a diversity of sectors and constituencies. We are very excited to have former EPA Administrator and current NRDC President and CEO, Gina McCarthy, once again chairing the committee. If you know Gina or participated last year's awards, you can understand how thrilled we are to have her back on board. She's just, well, fabulous. Climate hero Gus Speth will join us again. Gus has kicked off so many of these important climate initiatives. We are also honored to have APHA President Dr. Georges Benjamin, 35th Mayor of Salt Lake City, Jackie Biskupski, and Executive Director of TOE Nitoniani, Nicole Horseherder, back on board to judge the submissions. We would also like to welcome new judges, attorney and former Native advisor to Bernie Sanders, Tara Hauska, Executive Director of USCAN, Kia Chatterjee, Harvard School of Public Health and Environment Professor Mark Weiskopf, and Green Muslims climate change advocate Sophia Gilani. You can read more about these wonderful leaders on our website at ecoAmerica.org. So how to apply? I'm going to walk you through this year's application form. This is a very simple Google Doc. And remember, this should be filled out and submitted by 5 p.m. Eastern on December 15th. It only has 12 questions. You will be first asked to provide some basics, which includes your name, your title, and your email, as well as your organization's name and URL. You will then be asked to describe in 1,500 characters or less your program's objectives and how you brought the program's objectives to life. Please remember to include the program's primary tactics. Impact is important as you demonstrate your program's success. Please share any metrics or key performance indicators in this section of the application. As we know, climate change brings numerous co-benefits in health, nature, prosperity, and more. Please identify any co-benefits your program or initiative is having in the communities where you work in 1,500 characters or less. These awards seek to highlight diversity, equity, and inclusion, and specifically how your project activities have manifested DEI to help those most vulnerable. There is an 800 character limitation for this question. And finally, what are others saying? We are asking you to provide media and reporting examples. How has your program been recognized by others? Please share no more than 3 links to media impressions or other third-party reporting on your program. Remember that we are looking for concise responses. This will be extremely beneficial when we write about your programs and as we seek to motivate others to replicate your activities. If selected as one of the 30 semifinalists, you will be asked to submit a final proposal by February 8th next year. From there, 10 finalists will be selected to participate in the American Climate Leadership Summit in April 2021. Now I will overview this year's awards timeline. The submission form is live. Please apply today. You have until December 15th at 5 p.m. Eastern to apply. On November 2nd, the nomination period will close. So we need to close this form a bit earlier to ensure adequate time to send the application to those nominees and for them to respond to the nomination. Again, on December 15th at 5 p.m. Eastern, applications are due. A month later, on January 15th, 2021, 30 semifinalists will be announced on ecoAmerica.org and via its social media channels. The semifinalists will have 3 weeks to submit a final proposal. You will need to submit supporting collateral if you're chosen as a semifinalist. On February 8th, final proposals are due from semifinalists, and on March 15th, 10 finalists will be announced and invited to participate in the summit. And during the summit, which is on April 27th, we'll have the award celebration. The runner-up and winner will be announced live. So now for our Q&A portion of the program. I would invite all of you to submit your questions via chat in the box on the lower part of the screen, and I can read those out. And as people take the time to write in, I did want to share a question that we received a couple days ago. And this was a question about supporting materials. So for this phase, this round of the awards submission process, we are asking you to provide no more than 3 links. So that's for third-party reporting, and even a blog, an opinion piece, a newspaper clipping, social media links are great as well. Now, if you make it to the semifinalist round, you'll be asked to provide supporting visuals. And that can include, but it's not limited to, social media, newspaper clippings, screenshots of your programs, maybe some of your reports. And this visual collateral, it will be helpful for the judges in assessing your efforts. So again, the actual visual materials are not needed during this initial submission phase. Okay, well, note that if you do have any questions that you'd like to submit directly to our team, let's see, you can email us. Let me see, I have one question here I'm pulling up. So there's a question from Emma Fisher. Are there restrictions on the nature of the work? So this is a question related to the status of an organization. Megan, do you want to take that? That's a 501c3 versus the C4 PAC other.
Right. Thank you for that question, Emma. We welcome applications from organizations that are C4 status. However, we do want to be sure the nature of the work is something that a 501c3 organization can do as well.
Great. Thanks, Megan. We have another question here from Robin Cooper. Please expand on how metrics should be reported and provided. This can be, Robin, great question. This can be provided in a number of ways. If you have an impact report, an annual report, if there was something that was submitted again through or available through a third party talking about the success that your program has had, whether that be a qualitative example in a story format or some information around some of those quantitative metrics, all of that is most welcome, and the judges will assess that. There's a question here from another participant. What is the nomination period? Do organizations submit the Google form by 11/2 or 12/15? Great question. The nomination period is open, and that will be closed on November 2nd. And the reason it closed on November 2nd is so we have ample time to invite that nominee to submit an application on his or her behalf or on behalf of the organization.
That's right. And so then all applications are due by 12/15.
Well, if you do have any other questions, we would love to answer them. We do have a Q&A online, an FAQ on our website, again at ecoamerica.org, and you can refer to that. And we've pulled together the most frequently asked questions, and you can peruse those at your leisure. So I'd like to thank you now for your participation in our Q&A and for all those great questions. Again, we are available via email, and also please, you can go to our website for more information and links. A few final reminders on key dates. You have until November 2nd to nominate a colleague, organization, or initiative. As Megan mentioned, the application deadline is December 15th. We have a 5 p.m. Eastern deadline on that, just so we can have a time to say this is when things are due, and go to sleep that night. For those that apply earlier in the process, we're very excited to announce that we will be featuring you and your work on our 14 social media platforms. And we'd love to have a brief 15-second video on yourself and your organization. And you can send these into ACLA at ecoamerica.org. Again, that's ACLA for American Climate Leadership Awards at ecoamerica.org. And really, we'd like you to just say who you are, what you submitted on, so that could be on a program that you have on your organization, and invite others to apply. And a note from our marketing team that we'd like these in landscape orientation. And the idea is that we post these on across our media platforms, and as we go into the final stretch here. So please get started today. The next 2 months, really, they're going to fly by with the upcoming elections and Halloween and Thanksgiving and other holidays and celebrations around the corner. And we really want to make sure you don't miss out on your chance to win over $150,000 in prizes. So thanks again for taking the time today to join us for this webinar. And thank you to all of our partners who have been promoting this opportunity. We have received last year, we received over 200 applications, and we really hope to grow that number substantially this year. This is a time in 2020 where we really could use some more joy and celebration. So please make sure to apply for this wonderful program today. And again, if you have any questions, you can reach us at acla@ecoamerica.org. And we look forward to reading about your work soon. So best of luck from all of us at ecoAmerica and this year's selection committee. Thanks so much again.